Yo guys, what's up? It's Alex from Gymg Studio. In this video we will add cool animations to our app using Lottie. It's a pretty long video, so let's start. First of all, we need to fix something in our screen. We have to add a public init and we will just add a stop comment because we are not doing anything. We will just make it accessible from outside the package. Now, as you can see, our preview should work again. And it's loading. While it's loading, we can add a new folder called modules, and we can add our welcome folder to this new folder, modules. And we can basically delete the onboarding file because we don't need it. And now everything should work again. Now you will press Command-Shift-N and we will create a new SwiftPackage and call it UI components. This is for every UI component we use. Let's see what's going on. Let's restart Xcode. Xcode sometimes makes some weird stuff. So we can also run twist edit to add our new SwiftPackage to our project. We will go to manifest and then to project. And we basically have just to add the dependency. The product is UI components. And afterwards we have to add the package on top. We can just copy paste it here. And it's not onboarding, but UI components. And basically we can remove package. We can just write .package. And now we can generate our project. We will write twist generate in the terminal. And now we created our project. And as you can see, we have a SwiftPackage UI components. Let's remove the comments from the package.swift file because we don't need them. And they're just annoying. Now we are on the Lottie dependency on GitHub. You can see the nice animations. I will link it for you in the description. And we basically have just to copy paste this line here and paste it into our package file in the dependencies. This is it. This is easy. Now we have implemented the Lottie dependency. Now let's open the package because we only need the package for now. And I prefer working on only the package. First of all, we will create a new folder under UI components and we will call it Lottie animation. Now we can create a new Swift file and let's call it LottieView. And now we will go back to the package.swift file and we want to add the Lottie dependency to our target, and we write .product name Lottie and the package is Lottie-SPM. Now let's close and reopen it because Xcode is making some weird stuff. And as you can see, there's the Lottie dependency. Now let's go to our LottieView. This will allow to add animations to every view. We will import Lottie and import SwiftUI. It's a public struct LottieView of UI view representable, and we will add our file path and our loop mode. We also add our animation view, which is an animation view, and a public init, which takes the file path and the loop mode. Well, basically we do not have to set the loop mode, so we can actually remove it later. We will also make a public func make UI view with the context of a UI view representable context of a Lottie view, which returns a UI view. Let view is equal to UI view, the frame is 0. We will set some animation view stuff. And basically we want to add a subview, which is the animation view. And we have to set some NS layout constraints. So they are taking the full view. And we will return the view again. We also have to write a public func update view, which takes a UI view representable context. And basically we have to switch from my Mac to an iPhone simulator, so it will compile. And now let's check. Basically we can remove it because we are setting it to the initializer, and we renamed the animation view. And only iOS 13 or newer. So let's go back to our package.swift file. Now under name, we will write platforms and we will only support iOS version 16 and newer for now, because we don't need it. We're older ones. And there's an error, but now it should work. Now we can go back to the LottieView, and yeah, we renamed the animation view, so we have to write, I think it's animation LottieView. No, it's Lottie animation view. And basically line 25, it's not animation.filepath, it's Lottie animation.filepath, and we will pass the file path. And now this is it. This is our Lottie view where we can play nice animations. It's very easy, as I promised. Now let's continue. Now let's get rid of the file UI components because we don't need it anymore. And let's fix the tests. I don't know why they always add this stupid test which is failing. It's really annoying. By the way, we will also write tests. Don't worry, this will be a very high quality code. Promise. Let's go back to LottieView, and actually it should work now. Now we can open our project. Let's go back to onboarding, or actually the onboarding. We will open the onboarding package because we don't need anything else for now. We will add the new package as dependency, which is the UI components, and the path is UI components. And we will add to the target onboarding UI the dependency UI components, so we can use it in the onboarding UI target. Now let's go to the welcome screen, and basically what we want to do is to import the UI components. Now we want to add the LottieView we just created with a to-do comment. So basically we can remove the to-do comment and write LottieView, which will take a file path. We have to add the file path later. And the loop mode, we can just write loop because we want to loop over the animation. We don't want to play it once, we will just use loop. Now press Command N to create a new Swift file and name it welcome screen model. This is where our file path will be. It's a public final class welcome screen model of a type observable object with a public init and a var animation file path of a type string, and we will just return to do. So now we have to look for a cool animation. Let's look together. I'm at LottieFiles.com, I will link it in the description, and searched for coach. As you can see, this is a pretty nice animation, and we will download the Lottie.json. Now, after we downloaded the Lottie.json, we can import it. There's also the optimized JSON, but we don't need it. We will create a new folder under sources in onboarding UI and call it resources. By the way, there's a typo and I have to correct it later. And we will drag and drop our new Lottie file into this folder and rename it to coach.json. Now let's go back to Xcode. Now we will go back to the package.swift file and we will add to our target the resources. We will write resources double point, and into the array we want to process resources /LottieFiles /coach.json. And we have to add a comma, and we will add the coach.json file into a folder called LottieFiles, so it's better organized. I really like it, so you don't have to. Now let's go back to Xcode, and what we want to do now is to see if it's working. Spoiler, it will not, because there's a typo. Back to the welcome screen model, and we will turn bundle.main.path for resource coach of type JSON. Let's go to welcome screen and add a state object, private var screen model of the type welcome screen model, and in the public init we will write screen model, double point welcome screen model is equal to welcome screen model, and initialize it there, and underscore screen model now is equal to screen model. Okay, this won't work, but let's fix it later. And the file path is screen model.animation file path. Now, as you can see, the preview won't work. Have to write underscore screen model is equal to state object web value double point screen model. Now the preview should work again. And is it working? Come on. Now you can see the preview is working, but our animation is missing. We have to rename resources to resources with one single S. Go back to Xcode and invalid resource. Now this should work if we clean it. And restart Xcode. Now it's working. Go back to welcome screen model and let's fix this with a guard let. Now let's refactor this and use guard let so it's easier to find some issues. Basically what we want to do is guard let file path is equal to the string, and else we want to write precondition failure, can't find Lottie file, and we want to return this file path. And now it should work because we missed a bracket. And as you can see, the app crashes because of this precondition failure. This is why we refactored it. And it crashes because we brought bundle.main, but we have to use bundle.module because we are in the SwiftPackage now. And as you can see, if we run it now, there's this nice animation, and actually it was pretty easy to add. And now you can use as many animations in this app as you wish. This is really cool. And in the background you can see I open the package so I can show you the preview. And the really cool thing is that it works in the preview as well. If you have any question, guys, let us know in the comments. I hope the video was helpful. See you next time. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike the video if you disliked the video, subscribe if you want to be notified on our future content. We are also on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to follow us there as well. And have a great day. Start creating, stop consuming.